The thoughts, opinions, and general overall shades thrown on High at 9 News are those of the individual speakers and not those of High at 9 News, its audience, or its advertisers. The statements made do not constitute medical, legal, or financial advice, and for advice tailored to your specific situation, please consult with a licensed professional. Welcome to the High at 9 News Hour, where you will hear from cannabis industry experts and professionals from around the country talk about important topics while shining light on global issues and discussing cannabis as it relates to politics, regulation and reform, data and technology, science, research and medicine, family and parenting, art, celebrities and entertainment, fitness, sports, mental health and wellness, and plant-based medicines and entheogenics. Together, we are building a stronger community, fighting the stigma and creating change. With your hosts, Jason Beck and Rico Lamite, joined by special industry expert correspondents from around the country, and daily antics brought to you by Cannabis. Coming to you live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time and high noon on the East Coast. And thank you all for getting high at 9 with us. Yes, good morning, everybody. That's right, it is Thursday, May 1st, and today is School Principals Day today, you guys. Nothing to say about
Everyone's favorite person.
I love school principals. They were the most powerful people in, in the elementary.
I went on a date with one not too long ago. It was weird.
Oh man. my friend's mom was a principal in Ukiah, and she used to like get all the confiscated weed. Like all the kids would have 10 and 20 packs of peas that they would confiscate from their lockers and whatnot. And I was trying to always get her to just give them to me.
Yeah, okay, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're being realistic with life,
I'm the most realist person you'll ever meet in life, Jenny.
Well,
you're hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They just legalized corporal punishment.
What's that?
They just legalized corporal punishment for the schools.
Well, I'm glad that that's new because I used to get my ass whipped by Mr. Sekulich and the Board of Education all the time at Brunswick Christian Academy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? And I remember my first grade teacher. She used to hit us with yardsticks. So you know what I mean? I'm not. I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they kids need that shit nowadays. They're bad.
I don't think so.
We had a paddle.
Yeah, see, Dale had a paddle.
Got my ass whooped with that a couple times.
Yeah.
The bad part about that is I'd get my ass whipped at school with the paddle and they send home a blue slip, and then I'd get my ass whipped at home for getting my ass whipped at school. So it really just was like child abuse.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we're all traumatized, Miggy. You see what you brought up today?
Hey, happy May Day.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It is May Day, J Day today. It's also Law Day today. Shout out to the law.
A really inappropriate comment.
Yeah, well, I mean, we got Dale here, so you know what I mean?
We were still
I
talking
make
about
all sorts of inappropriate comments.
Mm-hmm. We're here for all of that. It's also Silver Star Service Banner Day today, so shout out to everyone with that. National Chocolate Parfait Day.
Where's Rico when you need him?
I know. It's also National Mother Goose Day today.
Okay, like the book.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. The book, Mother Goose. I mean,
get a day. I want a day. When's National Jenny Beth Day?
Isn't Mother Goose? Doesn't she have like a brand of chips too?
I don't know.
I thought she had
Jenny
a brand.
get a whole summer.
Yeah, Jenny.
Cookies.
You know who knows, Jason?
Who?
Google.
Oh boy. Well, thanks for checking that out for me.
Grandma's cookies.
Grandma's cookies. Okay. All right. And it is a National Loyalty Day today as well, you guys.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to loyalty.
Loyal person you know.
Yes, shout out to loyalty. I'm all about that life. Any thoughts? Any final thoughts on Loyalty Day, Miggy?
Snitches get ditches.
All right, fair enough. And thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us. That's also high at noon on the East Coast. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can look up above and down below to see exactly where we live on the internet. And we are live every Monday through Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X, Instagram, Facebook, Kick, as well as on our very own website at www.highat9news.com. So welcome to everyone joining us from any one of those platforms. And we are kicking it off with Miss Jenny Beth Dills. She's the founder of Cannabis that can help all of your businesses, you know what I'm saying, stay in compliance and stay out of trouble with not just Metric, but also your compliance officer. She's also the founder of Justice Served, a 501c3 that helps justice-impaired individuals get their life. What? It also helps justice-impaired individuals, you know what I mean, get their lives back on track. And coming up next is my co-host herself, Miss Jenny Beth Dills.
Apparently my cup is offensive.
It is.
Okay, self-serving plug really quick before we kick this off, because I have a really great story, but I wanted to get this off first. So everybody go on your Instagram to the Rockstar Smokes Instagram page, and in their story, vote for me. There's a little contest or whatever. We karaoke'd at the golf tournament the other day, and I don't like losing things. So please click for me. Vote for contestant number 2. All right, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, Jason, this is amazing. You know why?
Let's do it.
The government admitted they fucked up. That never happens.
Man.
Cathedral City admits mistakes in cannabis zoning amid ongoing odor complaints. After months of complaints from frustrated residents, Cathedral City is finally acknowledging what many have long claimed. The city made mistakes in allowing cannabis cultivation too close to neighborhoods. The turning point came on April 23rd when the city's Director of Community and Economic Development, Andrew Furstein, admitted publicly that zoning decisions, especially for cultivation and manufacturing, were flawed. His words, "It's okay for us to admit that we've made mistakes." That admission comes after residents described the odor as awful and unbearable, and accused city leaders of passing the buck. While a moratorium on new cannabis facilities is in place, many say it does not fix the current problems. Now neighbors are asking for more than acknowledgement. They want action. For the full story, visit NBC Palm Springs, where we are connecting you to everything going on in the valley. So this is, first of all, thanks for admitting that you done fucked up, Cathedral City, but also, guess what this fuck up is going to affect? Operators. So what action do they want? They're going to want these people to have to move their businesses. I don't know if you've ever stood up a cultivation or stood up a manufacturing facility, but it ain't fucking cheap. It's not quick. There's a lot of sign-ups, a lot of things that happen. And I think that the Cathedral City government needs to pay for this if it has to happen. But I also feel like there should be some, maybe some restitution paid, because these people aren't going to be able to operate for a while if that's the case. So I don't know what action and what, how they're going to rectify this, but it's pretty fucked up. I'll throw it back to you guys and let's discuss.
What, Jenny? I'm confused by this because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very confused by this. Like, what? Yes, they acknowledge that they messed up, but like they can't expect people to move. And the reality is that they have all of the cultivation for the most part in Cathedral City all sequestered in like the industrial area. So like why are people complaining about all of this?
Because Jason, there's people that live near there, and so they're bitching and they're moaning. And honestly, this is the government, and we'll see how much bitching and moaning happens. But what do you think the action that they're requesting is? Because I bet that it's to move the cultivations, which is a huge issue.
I totally agree with that. That's just totally ridiculous for them to assume that they're going to move a cultivation. And, I mean, the odor mitigation thing, I mean, people just need to just literally suck it up on that one.
Yeah, but it's not impossible to get below 7 dilutions to threshold with carbon filters.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I don't understand why, the poison pill would be advanced here and why they didn't have that requirement in the first damn place. Because every cultivation facility I've ever built out had to have HVAC systems, and they, took readings, nasal ranger readings at the exhaust fans.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, Dale, is a lot of them do have all of those things in place, but the reality is that the heat and being out in Cathedral City, out in the desert, like that heat just makes those terpenes really expel even more, and so I think it has to do with something like that, because all of the these are massive facilities that are out there. It's not like it's just like, oh, we got a little warehouse grow, downtown size. Like we're talking, what I'm saying, 100,000 lights, boom, just popping inside warehouses out there.
That just makes it more expensive to put into that remediation, like Dale was saying, using the more freaking filters. I mean, it's not just because the heat expands it. Like, I mean, it's ideal thinking though, Jenny. Like, at least they admitted they messed up. But like in Washington State, in the beginning of legalization, direct legalization, adult use, whatever you want to call it, people have their hopes and dreams. Every investment, right? Like I don't know what you got saved up, but like if I were to go all in and then lose it right now, I mean, fucked. Like that's it, right? There's so many people who lost all their savings in Washington State in the beginning because of moratoriums, rezoning. We got denied for our store 3 times, I believe, twice because of the children.
In Illinois?
Location. Yeah.
Get out of here.
You got to think of the children, Miggy. Come on.
Right.
That is crazy.
Every place has this fucked up, right? This whole state by state legalization is going to be we still don't have homegrown in Washington State. Right, like this law is not perfect in any of these states. So federal parity is what we need, right? Like I know everybody's like, no, don't reschedule. I know you say
rescheduling is not the answer. No, definitely not. No way, not even close. Descheduling is the only answer, Miggy. If you go to reschedule, you won't even be able to sell any products, bro, because first of all, you're not going to have a DEA license to be able to sell the products in the first place, and secondly, there's not going to be anyone that has enough money to get it through an FDA process to get it cleared to be able to sell the product. So what are you going to do?
I mean, it's still speculation, dude, right?
That's not speculation.
What you're saying is the negative. I know Dale feels the same way, right? We already got big alcohol coming in.
There's not speculation.
Well, dude, I mean, and Jenny, you work in regulatory markets, right? Like, I've heard you mention GMP certification, all this stuff. And, the thing is, a store doesn't have to worry about this, right? A store, I'm going to be a store. I don't have to worry about it. I just got to worry about good producers, right? Most people don't worry about the farm where their hamburger meat's being made. They just expect all the things being done all the way along the way so they don't get E. coli, right? It's kind of the same thing with weed. Eventually, you're going to be able to just go to the store and buy it. Like I can just go to Washington State. Like I just bought this ounce of popcorn bud, right? Just show my ID, walk in, no registry, no nothing. I mean, it's a really mundane product. Prohibition has brought the community what is existent. But when regulation and legalization happens, it's the most boring fucking thing, right? Where's the community?
Oh man!
I think
go for it.
I think the stores should be concerned because I think everything that's on this list of Schedule 3 drugs right now has to be purchased from a pharmacy. So I think that you're going to have a DEA license to dispense those. And God dang it, we can barely pay our taxes and our licensing fees as it is, much less meet the requirements that it's going to take to get a DEA license to dispense.
And no social equity applicant is ever going to be able to qualify for a DEA license, Miggy.
Well, why do you say that? I mean, again, you're throwing social equity out there like there's going to be a special thing. It's a fucking license. It's just a regular parody. If you got deep pockets in any of this game right now, that's who's playing, right? The big story on the thumbnail. Who is it? What are they? The MSO's already here. Yeah. Walmart weed is already here. Like people all worried about giving it to the man. What we need to do is enable citizens to grow their own weed, right?
I'm
the laws in the books.
I'm all the way with that. Right? Yes, I'm all about that.
But descheduling could help that, or rescheduling rather.
No, it won't.
I mean, we're not going to get descheduling anytime soon. I mean, do you guys see it anytime this 4 years or even the next 8?
Yeah, I see a descheduling happening under Trump without a doubt. It's more likely to happen under Trump than any other president we've ever had.
No way.
100%.
Yeah.
The king's not going to make it.
Rescheduling is going to be limited to a few products, and so the black market is just going to continue to flourish because people are not going to go in and there's not a single DEA approved smokable product in the market, period.
Right. So, we're still talking about okay, sorry.
Well, no, you've got Sativex and Epidiolex. They're, spray under the tongue tinctures.
Right.
That's all that's approved. Unless the rescheduling includes a whole bunch of regulations or enabling statutes to go out and allow people that are not licensed pharmacists and bring in products that are not DEA certified, it's the black market's just going to thrive. And I just don't know how they can't enforce it. That's the problem. I mean, they can do whatever they want, but if they don't deschedule this and let the states do what they want to do, there's no way the federal government and police this prohibition. Just
Right.
can't do it.
But that's what rescheduling, right? If rescheduling were to happen, right, where it's more common or whatever, right, and then people grow their own, that would enable, I think, to take the teeth out of law enforcement from busting people in houses.
What makes you think that rescheduling is going to allow people to have home grow?
It's not going to be an automatic thing, but what we've been doing for all these years, right, decriminalization, taking the teeth out of law enforcement, rescheduling is just another part of that. You know, it's something that can feasibly happen sooner than later. You know, there's no deschedule plan.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
Yeah, there is. There's legislation that just got introduced to deschedule, Miggy.
I mean, the state's 2.0 might pass, but like, again, the leadership's feckled. I don't think, unless you like spend another $100 million, and then that's the thing. Leadership shouldn't be like pandering, right? They should be like looking like this is real stuff for the people, the common, you know, and businesses benefit even when citizens have like protections, because it's kind of vice versa, I think.
I think rescheduling would be the linchpin that puts a pin in all of this. I think we would be done as an industry as we know it. I think it would completely give over everything to Big Pharma, which is why they're lobbying for it. And that would, you know, it's the death blow that this industry has been trying to avoid.
Yep, I agree with that.
I don't think politicians give two shits about this industry. That's the problem. They don't care.
That's it.
Fair enough. And that has been a fantastic conversation on that. And we are going to roll into our first commercial, and we're going to be right back.
Oh man, your knees still bothering you, man?
Yeah, my left one, you know? But I'll tell you what, I've been using this new CBD cream, and it works like a miracle.
CBDs? I done heard about them CBDs. I was out there on them Twitters the other day, and I heard they get you high as a kite.
Well, not this stuff. This stuff is tested. Every batch, all the way through, pharmaceutical grade, and in a GMP certified facility. So you know you're not going to have to worry about flying high.
GMP certified? I might have to try some of this out. Where I'm even find this?
You go directly to aimhighhemp.com and they will ship it to your door right away. Tested. It's not a name.
I piss THCA all day.
All day.
Oh, yes. And we are back, you guys. Jenny, you with us?
Oh yeah, coming up next, we got the High at Nine head honcho, my best friend, the lover of hemp.
Yes, because it's all
hemp
THCA.
soda consuming, except he doesn't like the bubbles. Jason Beck.
Oh, yes. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, man. We're almost at the end of the week. It's the beginning of the month. It's the first of the month today. May is a magical month. It's my birthday month. I'm pretty excited today, you guys. And I have some interesting news out of Florida for you guys today, because the Florida hemp regulation bill has been snuffed out, you guys. That's right. House and Senate leadership ultimately could not resolve bills crafted with significantly different styles. The legislature will not pass a regulatory framework for hemp this legislative season. This, according to Representative Michelle Salzman, who headed up a legislative work group on the issue. She said the House and Senate cannot bring separately crafted bills together before a Friday deadline to pass policy bills, she says. In a quote, "We are shifting gears." That's the end of the quote. The Pensacola Republican told Florida Politics in an additional quote, "We will not be focused on this legislation as we wrap up the 2025 session, you guys." Salzman was spearheading two bills, one on policy, HB 7027, and one on taxation, HB 7029. While the Senate more than a month ago passed its own single piece of legislation, SB 438, both chambers sought to address the growing number of unregulated consumable products infused with THC at levels rivaling and sometimes exceeding the amounts found in medical marijuana. Senator Colleen Burton, a Lakeland Republican who sponsored the Senate bill, told Florida Politics on Tuesday that she remained hopeful on Chambers negotiating a deal, but that there remained stylistic differences between the House and the Senate version. Some significant differences include a ban on synthetic hemp that appeared in the Senate bill, but not in the House. But there were points of conflict, including restrictions on outside advertising in the Senate bill and differing methods of setting THC caps on products. Saltzman said the disagreements ultimately could not be addressed in the remaining days of the legislative session. And in a quote, they say, while the House made significant progress in crafting thoughtful legislation to bring greater safety and structure to Florida's largely unregulated hemp industry, we were ultimately unable to align with the Senate version in the final days of sessions, he said. Our chamber remains focused on critical issues affecting every Floridian, balancing the budget, addressing the insurance and housing crisis, and ensuring condo safety. That said, our commitment to responsible hemp regulation is unwavering, and we look forward to continuing this work in future sessions to protect consumers and provide a clear path forward for the responsible players in this growing industry, she says. Last year, the legislature did pass regulations on hemp, but Governor Ron DeSantis ultimately vetoed the legislation amid concerns about how it would impact retailers and small businesses in the hemp industry, you guys. And oh man, looks like Florida is still the land of freedom, and shout out Florida, man. And, it's still going to be a great day for THCA out in the great state of Florida. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You moved to West Hollywood, I moved to West Hollywood. You moved to Orange County, I moved to Orange County. Let's move to Miami, dog.
See, I would rather live in Palm Beach during the week, and then I live in Miami on the weekends. That would be my ultimate if I lived in Florida.
I'm more of a Brickell bitch, you know what I mean?
That's fine. I mean, Brickell's not that. Brickell's nice too.
As long as we're within a 5 to 10 mile radius, Jason.
Yeah. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? I'll be Palm Beach living all day.
We're emotional support friends.
This is an example of the Republicans blowing smoke up your ass. You don't want shit to get done. They drag their feet. They walk around in circles. We have stylistic differences. Oh, fuck you. You're being lobbied not to do this. Okay. Let's just stop playing the games. Hemp is blowing up. They don't know what the hell to do with it, so they do nothing. Okay. And you get articles like this. Well, what'd you do? We didn't do a goddamn thing. We wrote an article about it. Okay. Well, there's a lot of places I'm very critical of the Democrats having their head up their ass. But these red states are just fucking this up royally. And nobody's got it right. That's the problem.
I would rather them do nothing than regulate something they know nothing about.
Well, and we've seen the disasters when they go in and they do something without asking experts. And next thing you know, every loophole in the world is found by an expert. And attorneys like me going, yeah, it's THCA. It's not Delta 9. And it's like, yeah, but, as Miggy said, if you smoke it and you're driving a truck and they stop you and ask you to piss, you're going to fail. Okay? So...
Well, technically, technically at the same time, you could be saying that you're passing the test because it's there. Even though in their eyes, I believe
Miggy referred to as THCA from his dick.
Yeah, it is called a drug test, Dale. You know what I'm saying? So
that's where it comes out magically, P.
Yeah.
But the damn, is it just good fucking lobbyists, right? Hemp people just have really good lobbyists. Who's the company that just opened up a hemp store in Florida? The big one.
Curaleaf just they closed down one of their retails and turned it into a hemp store. Then one of their medical cannabis retails, and they turned it into a hemp store.
Hilarious.
Which is hilarious because these companies, you're all championing the people who fucking are not helping protections for end consumers. Whereas when Kim Rivers or the True Leaf lady actually dumped $1 million into trying to get a home grow going on, I mean that failed horribly because of the over 50%, was it 55% requirement?
Yeah.
She's actually doing more for people than freaking the hemp people are right now in Florida. But what do you think a good Florida market would look like? Right? What is?
I want it to be the exact opposite of what Kim Rivers' crazy ass was trying to set up at her kitchen table or wherever the hell this is happening. Like, that is the last person I want speaking for this industry in any capacity, in any state, in anywhere, right? So, and I say that because if you look at the long track record of shit she's done wrong, have an employee die because you don't take care of your staff appropriately, and then you argue to pay a lower fine after someone is fucking dead. That is absolutely disgusting to me, and I can't give Kim Rivers enough middle fingers, and I'm sure one day I'll run into her at BizCon and she'll have something to say and she'll wish she hadn't. But
maybe we'll run into her at Mar-a-Lago.
Maybe I'll run into her at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Because she's over there trying to lobby on our behalf for, federal legislation. And I don't want her ideas being heard there either. So I don't know. I think that I'm still going to stand on. I'm glad they're doing nothing if they don't know how to do it right.
I could agree with that. It's better for them to do nothing than to totally screw it up, because it takes so long to fix it. And I mean, California is a perfect example of that.
And Miggy, you want home grow in Washington State, and that's one of the more frustrating things. Is like, how has this not happened yet? Kim Rivers has like egregiously lobbied against home grow because that cuts into her bottom line if you can just make it yourself.
It doesn't really cut into her bottom line.
So just again, we're doing step by step, right? Like medical is the thing that opened up the store for everybody. Prop 215 is a gateway proposition that everybody's like, oh shit, the zombie apocalypse didn't happen. And then, how long did it take after Prop 215? Like 15, 20 years for 2 states to legalize it. And then the shit that's been happening since then, right? Like, we all know everybody likes to smoke weed. If the fucking hemp industry is doing so well, $1 billion industry, where are they investing into like helping the cause? Like, what is going to be good regulation, right? Like Florida, still, for example. What do you think the hemp players and the cannabis players? What's going to be that thing that makes you all happy? Because eventually there's going to be one fucking market. There's one market, one. That's it.
Well, maybe you're onto something there, Miggy. Maybe the whole thing is to just bleed out the regulated market until it can't even survive any longer, and then we just have the hemp market in place, and then that's the free and open market with direct to consumer, no 280E restrictions. I mean, it's already, what I'm saying, what it is.
I think that would suck dick. That's just my personal opinion.
What's that, Miggy?
They're still going to have regulation needed, right? Like you can say, there's going to be an unregulated market no matter what. But if you're creating a consumable product, there's going to be freaking, and there needs to be definitions, like legal definitions in, like for whiskey, for aspirin, all these things have some sort of reference. Cannabis is going to be another one of them, and then what makes the fucking divider between hemp? 0.3% THC. How dumb is this?
I think it is stupid. I agree with you, Miggy. It's a stupid mile marker, because
it's the difference in something that's worth consuming and something that's worth using in the textile industry. So I think that's when we were looking at the Farm Bill and we set that regulation. That was the intent of the law, right? Intent of the law matters, Dale. Like they weren't intending. They're like, okay, how much can be in there and it not get you high or have any kind of psychoactive effects, because then we can agree that can be used as building materials. We can do hemp parts. We can do whatever the fuck else you want to do with it. But they were trying to keep us from fucking smoking it, and look, we're smoking it anyway.
Well,
like
the biggest problem they face is that there's an unregulated market that's got both feet firmly planted on the ground right now. And every time you don't take a step to green light the industry, they just step in and take the money. Okay. And that's the reality. So all the pissing and moaning and talking back and forth, all it does is just embolden the black market. And that's the part of this equation that it's difficult to get these legislators to pay attention to. Because it's like, the cops will go out there and take care of it. Well, who's paying for the fucking cops to take care of it? And the problem is that if you put every cop in the United States trying to stop weed, they couldn't do it. And then all the real crime out there would go in the back burner because they're trying to stop weed? No, there's a reality here that people just don't want to pay attention to. Stevie Wonder can see the fucking problem here. You can't get these legislators to understand that if you don't take steps to regulate this and green light it so that people that have good business savvy can run this, people with good business savvy outside the regulated market are going to win all day long. That's the part of this that you tell it these people and you get this stupid look. Yeah, but it smells. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, so does your breath. But what the fuck are we supposed to do about that?
Oh, that was good, Dale. That was good. Any final thoughts on this, Miggy, before we move on?
Well, Dale just mentioned the black market. I know you guys talk about the traditional market a lot, and it really legalization has affected the trap, right? Hemp is the new trap, period, right? Where people are carrying pounds, and hopefully they have a COA or maybe one they made up in an Adobe Photoshop, who knows? But like, if you want real protection, you got to go through all the hurdles, which is only getting a damn DEA tested, lab tested 0.3%. That's your legal standing stay out of jail free card right now, right? But legalization in California, watch a documentary like The Humboldt, The Triangle.
Yeah,
that legend, right? Like everybody knows, but
You're talking about Murder Mountain, right? Is that the documentary you're referring to, Murder Mountain?
No. I watched this one. Well, that one I watched too, but the Highlands. I just watched this one on Prime, and it shows like in the Highlands, it actually was like the epitome of when like the grows and everything are strong, right?
Yeah.
They go to the reggae festival, river, sell pounds, in the back there.
It was such a great time.
That culture's dying though.
It's dead.
Because,
that culture's not dying; it's dead.
Well, yeah, and so like maybe watch the Highlands. It's like the last capture of how it used to be, but like that's what legalization has done, right? It's killed this trap market that existed as this golden legend that everybody talked about, but now that community died, right? There's so much legalization can exist, but the trap is going to slowly fade away. How's it in Canada? The trap in Canada is not really strong. Eventually, it's just going to be if you know a guy who grows good weed.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone who grows good tomatoes or whatever. That's where it's going to be eventually. I don't think the trap's going to be forever. That's all.
Well, Miggy, I have a couple of things to say in regard to that. It's before we used to have just the trap, just pretty much up there and in Northern California, and that was where everybody really primarily went to purchase this. Now with legalization in all these different states, they can go to their home markets and just get stuff from whoever is producing there. That is really what has happened more, and that's why that whole culture up there is pretty much dying off, is because no one wants to take the journey up there for that when they could travel 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour in their own state and not have to worry about all of the back and forth.
So you're saying the Humboldt weed's not as good as it used to be? Like, what I'm saying? People still want good shit. People are going to drive all over and sell pounds if they can sell it.
Yeah, but if I can produce the same stuff in Los Angeles, I can produce the same stuff in Oklahoma, I can produce the same stuff in Michigan. What's the point?
Well, Mendocino still has, that area has specific soil. Like if you're a real connoisseur, right? Like that's the
people don't care about that, bro. People don't care about that.
Yeah, they want hemp.
Yeah, people don't care about that. That's what I mean. That's like, if that was the case, no one would buy Budweiser, or what I'm saying, or natural ice and things like that. You know what I mean?
Or wine with a screw cap on it.
Yeah, wine with a screw cap, exactly, or even wine in a box. Yeah.
You know what? Good wines are coming in boxes, and good wines are coming with screw caps on it. I should know.
Well, we did get a super chat in from the C Word who says, "Is everyone succeeding the goal? Or do we want the offal carted away?" He says. I may have pronounced offal.
Not everybody's going to succeed. That's just the reality. That's how business works.
I agree. That is true.
At least half of businesses fail in the first 5 years. That's not even inside the cannabis industry, and this is a particularly difficult industry to be in.
And speaking of succession, Jason Beck, who's next?
That's right. It is coming up next. It is none other than attorney at law, Mr. Dale Schafer. And Dale has been an attorney since the Reagan administration. He's represented physicians, hospitals, insurance companies, cops, corrections officers, and for the last 25 years, he has specialized in cannabis law. He served a 5-year federal prison sentence for helping medical marijuana patients and managed to save his law license. He's blunt. He doesn't smoke them because they're ratchet and nasty, but he's honest, and he is unconcerned with your opinion, public opinions, and everyone else's opinion. And he will show you how to defy gravity by pissing up a rope. That's right. Is none other your favorite Tio Loco, and you can now find him at his own law office at the law office of Dale Schafer. It is attorney at law, Mr. Dale Schafer.
Good morning, everybody. Your favorite Tio Loco, full of shiticus, ready to tackle the world again. Here we go. My story this morning comes out of Nebraska, and this is not a blue state. It ain't a purple state. This is from Marijuana Moment. And it's a reprint from the Nebraska Examiner. And the headline is, Nebraska senators schedule town halls to discuss medical marijuana bills. And it seems that there was an initiative out there where the voters were over 70% in favor of medical marijuana. Ding, there's one for the good team. Over 60%, close to 70%, but well over 60% in favor of a regulatory scheme. Now, full disclosure, I haven't read the initiative or the regulatory scheme they passed, okay? And if you try to get too granular with these initiatives, it tends to be a problem. You need to pass enabling statutes and give them time for regulations to roll out.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they put some things in this regulatory initiative that you've got to be ready to have these regulations out by like July. And October 1st, they want to start issuing licenses. Well, I don't know what world they think you can get that kind of stuff done, because regulations take a minute to be published, comments, maybe republished, go to administrative law judges to see if there's any problems with them. But what happened here is that 3 of these legislators that are on a committee trying to get some minor tweaks to this and give them a little more time to work out regulations, not been able to get things through what appears to be a Republican-controlled committee and a Republican-controlled legislature there. So they're going out to the people. I applaud them. Go out and ask people, what do you think? I'm just not sure they're going to get a whole lot of other than vitriol out there. But I applaud them for going out and talking to people. But this seems to be, I think the Republicans are going to wait and see if this falls on its face, because it just is really difficult, if not impossible, to put together a regulatory scheme, licensing scheme, just a matter of months. And the other problem is no one's going to fund it. That's what they're complaining about. There's no money to do this. And in legislation, without money, things just don't get done. That's a problem I see here. So it's caught my attention because the vote was overwhelming. This is a red state. They said, hell yes, we want medical marijuana here. Quit fucking around with this stuff. And it goes back to the legislature, and guess what? They're fucking around with it as much as they can. And it's frustrating. And 2 of these legislators are Republicans. They're out like, hey, we want to implement this. We're going to town halls. I just don't know that's going to fix much. And there's some comments in there by someone who was a leader of the initiative that's saying, look, there was no misunderstanding. Voters knew what they were voting for. Let's just put this into place. And so what I'm going to just wait and see if this actually can be implemented, because the legislature in Nebraska, they're in like June. They're up. They're done. And then they're out of session. And so if you don't have something that's going to affect this before they leave, like funding, some regulations, maybe a little more time to figure this out, and we're going to see if an initiative can actually put regulations together and move this forward towards a legal market. So I'm going to throw this back at you for what you think. But, I'm calling out the Republicans for dragging their feet here. I'm not trying to make this work. And I've encountered it myself in Republican jurisdictions where an initiative gets passed and they drag their feet because they don't want this thing. And I'm as critical of that as I am of the Democrats with their head up their ass, not willing to save the industry. I'm going to throw this back at you. What do you guys think?
Well, I personally agree with you. These guys are definitely dragging their feet, and they're doing this out of I think more personal reasons than reasons that I think that they can honestly decipher from a political angle, because their job is to intact the will of the people, and the people have spoken, and therefore they need to do their jobs and set their personal vendettas to the side and really work for the citizens of Nebraska and get this done.
What do you think the probability of that happening is, though, Jason? Because we've seen this multiple times. Like, you're not gonna, they're your constituents. You work for them, but then you do the exact opposite. If I had a boss, I don't have a boss because I don't like to do what people tell me to do. So if I
get out of here,
if I never did what my boss told me to do, I would be out of a job. And so that's what I implore you guys to do: is pay attention to when these people that you voted for are not enacting your will. If they're not, fire them.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need mass recalls on a whole number of politicians, and there's plenty of Republicans to go around that we need to remove and replace, as well as a lot more Democrats.
Delay is the way.
What do you think? What do you think, Miggy? Nebraska?
No, that's it, man. I mean, like the fact that you can just delay things, right? Most politicians don't want real change. They don't want to have a resolution and make a stance. Right, it's easier just to say no, or point to another department or branch and say it's on them. But sometimes it's on you. Yeah. Right. And when it gets to the top, like, it should be on. They're failing their people, like Jay was saying, and You know, I'll make it a point. Like, this will get you, Jason.
Yeah.
You know, like yesterday, Trump was talking about that guy, the Maryland guy that was shipped out to El Salvador.
Yeah.
And the double speak that comes out like, oh, I can make a phone call if I wanted to right now, but no, it's not on me, it's on them now.
Well, I don't know.
What is it?
I don't understand what the double speak
like,
is. He's not a U.S. citizen. He should have been deported. I don't understand the thing.
Because the president of the United States supposedly has the power to like be God, right? Like this. I
don't agree with that.
That's what a real business is like. If
I don't agree with that.
This is how it is.
That's not so real. There's certain things that he can't do.
The whole king thing, right? Like, isn't the power of the president supposed to be of America?
No, it's
like,
not.
Get shit done?
Yeah, they're supposed to be able to get shit done, but they're not a king. We live in a democratic republic.
He said
We're very interrupted today, Jason.
What's that?
What's that?
I'm sorry.
Interrupted today, Jason.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I just like talking.
Yeah.
Maybe you hope he can fix these problems.
There you go. When we get that white smoke coming out. But that's the thing, though. Like it's just easier to like just point at things opposed to like having real. How many fucking states are legal now? You don't even gotta fucking create new shit. You can just go, oh, give me the template for Texas if you want the worst case scenario, or give me the template for New Mexico if you want a fair case scenario. Like each one has a different way of doing things, and it's already out there. It's fucking dumb.
I think Missouri has the best market overall. Maybe.
I'm not analyzing every single one. I just know a couple. New Mexico has great weed.
Interesting.
I guess it depends on your metrics for the term best. I don't know what that means.
My metrics for determining the best overall are whether or not the operators that are operating compliant businesses are actually able to make money, and there's, you know what I'm saying, that's really kind of how I break that down. It has nothing to do with the overall quality of the products that they produce or anything else like that. It's whether or not they can actually run a business, operate a business, and make it financially viable.
That's up in New Mexico. When I say best, I mean opportunity for the average citizen. Anybody in New Mexico can fucking jump in the market. Is that what we want? A fair market? We want real people to fail and succeed.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. Is if we have that, you're giving basically everybody the right to fail, just as you're giving them the right to succeed. And oftentimes in a lot of these discussions, people they don't ever equate the fact that they could fail.
This shit happens, man.
Well, governments believe that they can intercede and fix problems. And in reality, if you're a dumbass and you want to run a business and you fail, it's like the government can't fix you being a dumbass. That's just not possible. So, I mean, in America, it's a free market.
Yep.
Hey, if you want to take your life savings and go open up a bar or do a micro brewery or whatever, okay, fine. But if you're a fucking management idiot and you lose all your money, I don't want to hear a violin playing. You got a shot at it.
Yep.
So maybe you should swing a hammer because running a business ain't your forte.
Yeah. Fair enough. And time shall see. And there's definitely a lot of prohibitionist rhinos in Nebraska that all need to be repealed and replaced. And so I'm with you, Dale. You know, something needs to give. And on that, we're gonna roll into our next commercial, and we are gonna be right back.
Donuts.
Yeah. All right. Stop whatever you're doing. Make sure you smash that like button. I know we'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. And YouTube will appreciate it. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. And all of the articles that we cover on today's show, you can read directly on our website at www.high9news.com. And make sure that if you're feeling thirsty, that you get yourself a case of Liberal Tears sent over to your house. It is a fantastic energy beverage. You know what I mean? No sugar at all, just snowflakes and Liberal Tears. 150 milligrams of caffeine in every can, and use the link in our description to make sure that you help support the show when you make your purchase of Liberal Tears, you guys. And Jenny, you have something you want to share as well?
Yeah, you guys got to go to the Rockstar Smokes Instagram page and vote for me on their story, please. Vote number 2 in that story so I can win. Jason.
Fair enough.
Did you do it yet?
And on that, we'll be right back.
I just ordered the summertime strawberry salad when added steak on top here at Anna's. Make sure you do the same thing too next time you're in downtown Long Beach. Come on down and check out Anna's joint on the 400 block of Pine Street. They have amazing selection of beers, foods, and when you come down here to Anna's, you can even challenge me to a game of shuffleboard if you want to lose. Did you get that? So, next time you're in downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue, make sure you stop by Anna's Joint on the 400 block. Not only do they have Anna's Joint, this restaurant and bar, but they also have the amazing deli next door, and then next door to that, they have a very exotic flower shop. You may want to stop by and say hi.
And we are back, you guys. Coming up next, that's right, we have a guest correspondent coming in from the great state of Washington, Mr. Miggy 420. He's an artist, an accidental journalist, a pothead with a multimeter, and Miggy 420 is the founder of Cannabis Legalization News that you can find him here on YouTube as many of other channels every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. on the East Coast. That's right, it is none other than Mr. 420 Miggy himself.
Hey, thank you. I would say co-host, not founder.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I wanted to make sure to just give you good props and credit, bro. I'm sorry.
I only find myself in trouble sometimes. I don't found shit. I've just been helping a lot of people make things. But
you can tell Tom to blame it on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's all good, man. So full disclaimer, I don't hate hemp. I hate the rules right now. Mm-hmm. That's all. Like in the end, there's going to be like the Highlander. There can only be one. Like that's what's going to happen with this plant, right? Is it going to be used for a T-shirt when you grow it, or are you going to smoke it? Mm-hmm. Are you going to want to make it a drink out of it? Like all these infused products are nothing new.
Yeah.
For people who've been, in the rec market or the medical market here in Washington State, they were infusing drinks, ice cream. We had infused ice cream back in about 20 years ago.
I had infused ice cream. I remember that. Yeah.
So none of this is new, but coming out of Arizona, the Attorney General Kris Mayes said her crackdown on unlicensed vendors selling THC-infused products is moving forward despite a lawsuit from the hemp industry. So, these markets are merging. Word of advice, if you're in hemp, you got to pick your state right. Some people aren't messing with it, right? Some states, I don't know which ones, nor do I care. I don't care about the ones that are actively crunching down. I'm just letting you know, like this one plant, and we need to get it in line so we can have real rules and protections and treat it like what it's supposed to be. This bastardization with like the vapes and the Delta 9 extraction, like trying to fool the system. And at the same time, truckers can lose their CDLs, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think about the hemp crackdown in all these states? Because Arizona is not the only one, right? Texas is coming. I think Indiana just passed, but again, this is something that I notice, but I don't really care because I'm not really invested in it. Illinois is the only one I really care about right now because that's where my store will be.
Oh man, Miggy. So tell me more about this, about what's happening actually in Arizona in relation with this story.
Sorry, say it again.
Tell me a little bit more what's happening in relation with this story in Arizona, because they're saying, if I'm correct on this, she's saying that she's moving forward with enforcing this ban, even with a pending lawsuit in place.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, right? They're going after the vape shops, the gas station weed. They're not, and I think that they're going to try and merge the market too, right? Where you have to be a legal rec store. This is where the regulation comes in place. It is going to be all products need to be sold through one chain of establishment, like unfortunately, like alcohol, right? Even though we give that comparison all the time, and perhaps could hurt the argument, but also what is alcohol? The distribution is like a 3-tier system or something, right? Like I'm not in that kind of business yet, but like I understand a little bit of it, but I don't. Because that's what's going to happen with weed eventually, right? We're going to have growers in different states, then distributors, and all the other parts of that legalization that goes in with alcohol.
So in this article, it says that Arizona Attorney General Kris Mayes said her crackdown on unlicensed vendors selling THC-infused products is moving forward despite a lawsuit from the hemp industry. And in a quote, she says, "They wanted a judge to stop the enforcement. A judge did not," Mayes said of the plaintiffs during a Tuesday interview. And it also says that the lawsuit was filed after Mayes sent letters to retailers and law enforcement agencies clarifying that products containing Delta-8 THC and Delta-9 THC and similar substances can be sold only by businesses possessing valid marijuana establishment licenses, she's saying. And she sent the letters because she wanted to enforce Arizona law and crack down on sales she saw as inappropriate and problematic. How does she get to that point when this is so asinine to me that they have the ability to regulate on this type of commerce on federally legal products?
Why?
Dale,
I thought you were about state rights.
I am about state rights, but like, go ahead, Dale.
It's called the 10th Amendment, Jason. Okay. The federal government said we're not going to have any federal restrictions on this. Then it flows out to the states, and they are free to do what they want to do, because that's the way our constitutional system works. And California is trying to now, the Newsom side emergency regulations to shut down all cannabinoid products. They're not going through the legal industry, trying to rein it in through the legal industry. And which if you're going to say, oh, that's a good idea, well, maybe if you would turn the legal industry loose so they had a fighting chance to do this, which they don't. Because if you can put, infused products in an Arco station as you pull in to get gas and you can grab it and go, why in the fuck would someone go to a legalized store where they tax on excise taxes and taxes? And this is something coming from the legal market. Hey, they're kicking our ass. Well, yeah. Because people that are smart business people look around, where can I make a buck? And they can make a buck with these products. Okay. And so legal industry, hey, you're not being fair to us. Well, no shit, Sherlock, because it's overregulated, overtaxed. If you would just understand, get the hell out of the way. And everything needs some regulation. Let's just be clear. Yeah. Before you kill somebody, the vitamin E acetate, just a perfect example, is some fucking idiot selling stuff that's going to kill you. Okay. We need testing. We need some standards here. But I'm a minimalist when it comes to regulations. I'm more of a libertarian leaning guy. It's like, if you don't need it, get the fuck out of the way. If you need it, identify what the goal of the regulations are, circle back periodically, make sure you're meeting the goals, or fucking wipe them out and get out of there, and leave people alone to run a business. The human body has survived smoking weed for, I don't know how long. Okay? I don't think smoking, ratchet shit made from hemp is going to kill you. Right. So I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that the industry's schizophrenic, and it's because government's schizophrenic about all this shit. They can't even identify what they're trying to do here. Some idiot drew a line in the sand. Well, it's 0.03%. Yeah, because if you smoked hemp back in my day, you'd throw it away. And what the fuck is this? Make a shirt out of this. Now they've taken hemp and turned it into Delta-8, THCA, acetate. There's just so many isomers out there. Technically fit the definition, to the 30,000 foot level, this thing is schizophrenic. Would somebody give somebody some antipsychotic medication here, close the door, give them some pizza and see, can we figure this shit out and keep all the public and the media out of this, and let's see if we can sit down and figure this out so it makes some sense. I'm not holding my breath, because politicians don't survive to make sense. They survive to get reelected. There's the problem in a nutshell, right?
That's true. That is very, very true. I agree with that, Dale, all the way, all day. That is so true. Man. Yeah, and we're getting some responses from people in the chat that are saying that that the SB3 it's passed in Texas, and so hopefully we'll have a story on that tomorrow in relation to that is unverified. That is just coming in from the chat from people saying so. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but we're gonna see, and we will make sure that we cover that tomorrow if that is the case. And on that, we are going to roll into our final commercial, and we are going to be right back, you guys.
Oh man, your knees still bothering you, man?
Yeah, I left one, you know? But I'll tell you what, I've been using this new CBD cream, and it works like a miracle.
CBDs? I done heard about them CBDs. I was out there on them Twitters the other day, and I heard they get you high as a kite.
Well, not this stuff. This stuff is tested. Every batch, all the way through, pharmaceutical grade, and in a GMP certified facility. So you know you're not going to have to worry about flying high.
GMP certified? I might have to try some of this out. Where do I even find this?
You go directly to aimhighhemp.com and they will ship it to your door right away. Tested. It's not a name, it's a promise.
I mean, I know people are still on the grind, right? But the whole point is you don't want to be on the grind. You want to be able to fucking be on a beach while you're collecting a check and checking in with the fucking
mailbox money. Yeah, talk about it, Miggy. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that life. You know what I'm saying? Well, man. This is the story is, very, very interesting to say the least. Jenny Beth, I really can't wait to hear what you have to say about this one. Because Cresco Labs secures Kentucky's top medical cannabis license amid some controversy, you guys. That's right. Kentucky's medical cannabis program, set to launch on January 1st of 2025, has sparked debate over its licensing process. And Chicago-based Cresco Labs, a leading multi-state cannabis company, landed one of the state's most coveted Tier 3 cultivation licenses in Winchester, plus a dispensary license in Floyd County, through a lottery system that's now under scrutiny. The process, meant to ensure fairness, has drawn criticism from local hemp farmers who feel outmaneuvered by out-of-state giants, they say. And how you want to know Cresco won big? Well, Cresco Labs submitted 128 applications, each costing $3,000 for Kentucky's medical cannabis licenses, a strategy that maximized their odds in the state's lottery. Only 2 applicants hit securing the Winchester cultivation facility and a Floyd County dispensary. CEO Charlie Batchel, speaking at the facility's ribbon cutting, projected the $15.4 million site could yield its first harvest by fall of 2025, with products reaching patients shortly after. Governor Andy Beshear, present at the event, praised the progress, but estimated dispensaries might not open until late summer or fall, citing the time needed for infrastructure. The Winchester facility is one of only 2 Tier 3 cultivation licenses, making it a cornerstone of Kentucky's medical cannabis supply. Nearly 9,000 medical cards have been issued from over 13,000 certifications, signaling strong patient demand. Yet the time frame frustrates some, as local hemp farmers argue they could have started growing sooner. And there's also a lot of local farmers' frustrations because Kentucky hemp farmers, many with secure greenhouses ready for medical cannabis, feel sidelined. And Michael Odor, a hemp farmer, told Kentucky Public Radio that out-of-state winners like Cresco lack the infrastructure to grow quickly, potentially delaying patient access until later 2025. Local growers who invested heavily in facilities believe their experience gave them an edge, and instead, nearly 90% of licensed winners are out of state, tied to large firms like Cresco Labs. The lottery's randomness, designed to avoid bias, has fueled accusations of unfairness, and State Auditor Allison Ball is investigating the Office of Medical Cannabis after continued complaints about transparency. And in a quote says, "Kentuckians deserve confidence in state processes," Ball said, highlighting the stakes for a program meant to serve patients with conditions like chronic pain or epilepsy. And why it matters, you guys, is because Cresco's win underscores the tension between corporate cannabis and local stakeholders. For patients, delays mean longer waits for medicine, and for Kentucky's economy, the program promises jobs and revenues, but only if executed equitably. Fair policies are critical to building a thriving cannabis market, and Kentucky's challenges echo national debates over balancing access, equality, and industry growth. And if you guys want to know what's coming up next in Kentucky, Governor Bashir remains optimistic, noting room for more licenses as the program expands. But with investigations looming and farmers pushing for reform, Kentucky's medical cannabis rollout faces a lot of hurdles. Patients and advocates await clarity, hoping for a system that prioritizes access over corporate dominance, you guys. Well. Seems like more of the same, and it's almost like we're just keeping up with the Joneses over here in Kentucky, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. 128 applications, 2 licenses. That means 126 failures. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but they could afford to waste the money.
Yeah.
Or to spend it off their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
The average cultivator can't.
Yeah.
And that's one of the tensions here. Dormant Commerce Clause prevents states from putting up barriers from out-of-state people coming in and competing. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's one of the problems. And inside of a state, Kentucky's got a long history of growing cannabis. Mm-hmm. I mean, they used to grow a lot for hemp, but the wildwood weed grows well there. Mm-hmm. And it's not that difficult to do. And it just, my argument is, get out of the way. Don't make it so goddamn hard to do this. You take these tier 3 and break them up into, 20 growers who can grow as much as one tier 3 can grow in a facility. I think that's a much more equitable approach. But, no one listens to me because I'm just some fucking crazy old cooter Democrat. And I don't care because they have fucked this up 6 ways from Sunday, and everybody that starts it doing the same damn thing. We're trying to protect certain people. What they do is they torpedo the entire industry because government cannot make things fair. I'm sorry. Life ain't fair. There's a thing called a meritocracy. If you can't run a business, then go ahead and try. You'll probably fail. Okay. If you can, you'll probably do okay. But still, 50% of new businesses fail in 5 years. So let's put that together and get the fuck out of the way and let people know how to grow weed and sell it. That's simple.
Jenny, I'm muted.
You're on mute, Jenny.
Jen.
You're on mute, Jenny. You're on mute.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my mom like that.
My wife had that button.
I'm just glad that Cresco found something to do with all of Diddy's leftover baby oil, because they definitely slid and slided their way right into this. Like, I can't wait to see it contested, because I guarantee it will be.
Oh, yeah.
This is stanky, and I don't like it.
It definitely is. I agree with you. It's definitely got some, got some stench on there, Jenny Beth.
Nice
That's
try,
for
Diddy.
sure. Did he do it? Did they do it?
You know why it's stinky though? I mean, you know why it gives you a bad taste? Because it is unfair, right? Like this, but this is the new trap, right? Licenses in all the upcoming states and is a chance for when you to either use it and become a business or flip it, right? Right. And so, like, I did the numbers because I participated in this round, right? It was $5,000 to participate, just bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then there was like a $10,000 one and it's non-refundable.
Yeah.
So they spent $640,000, almost $1 million, just for that with those licenses. And this is unfair for everybody, but also it's here, man. Like all this, like scream, about like the hemp and big money, big pharma, big whoever. They're already playing the game. They're already getting in there. Local markets, I think, will always be the strong ones because I know in Washington State there hasn't been a Cresco, a GTI, True Leaf. I don't know.
Well, that's because that's because Washington State started before all those companies did.
Right, but they have money to buy these people out and get in and do what they want. Right, get their foot in the door.
Well, maybe that says something about the Washington market.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not sexy.
Wow, I think we have a good market, but we are loyal to our brands and shit. Right? California is such a flippy floppy tourist. It used to be, when medical, everybody thought Cali was going to be the first one to legalize it, right? California hippies, all this shit, and you weren't. Northwest, for whatever reason, it happened to be up here. Because there was a strong community. We had farmers markets. We had I could do dabs at the station. People freaking out when I mixed RSO with my flour. That's just a thing. It's something that's here. I mean, you guys have been smoking forever too, so it's nothing new. But like this hemp debate is messing things up, and because the other shit's already here. Big whoever you worry about is already winning these licenses, and so you should be aware of what the weed you're buying, right? I don't know what you know about your hemp farmers, but
Yeah.
you know, I know my legal fucking state weeds fucking bomb for a decent price. So, you know, I got a lot of haters about the hemp shit. The law's fucked up, and we need to educate the public, right? Like, this is the same plant. So why not change the law now, opposed to fucking debating about like what is. But there's going to be one market.
That's why the Farm Bill is so great, Miggy.
Right. So everybody's getting cheated right now on their like protections, like lose their kids or whatever the case happens when you piss hot in a test. Right. But like real protections can be when you have one mark and say, hey, it's noticed as medicine. I know everybody's worried about big pharma, but there's so much, like, if you really have a knowledge base on this plant, you're going to involve yourself in it, right? People smoke cigarettes. People smoke shitty things. And this plant could be so much better and more. It is. But there's a lot of ignorant people being jolted, I think, out of like good product. $100 for an ounce. I don't know what's good for you guys.
I wouldn't smoke $100 ounce.
See, or do you want like cheaper ounces? I don't know what your price point is.
No, brother. To me, if it's $100, I already know I don't want to smoke it. I already know it's going to be harsh on my arsh.
I don't know, Jason. I guess I'm prettier than you because the guys give me very nice ounces.
That's direct. That's a little bit different. We're talking about in a retail environment, Jenny Beth.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, where do you think it's going to go? I mean, if you take a look at the alcohol market, which is probably the closest, well over like 60 or 70% of the products being sold are economically sold. You know, the high price products are premium products. That's great. But the average consumer doesn't go buy a $250 bottle of single malt scotch. They buy a 6-pack of beer and they want the best price on it. That's where this is going. And it's going to be volume over high quality, although high quality is going to be there. Volume is going to be the name of the game. And if you're getting in this to make $1 million at a low profit margin with high volume, you know, good luck. You better know what the hell you're doing. The hippies can't run shit. And they can't run a business. They can run the hog farm, and give you a free meal. But what I've seen, I've had so many hippies as clients, and they can't run a business. It's all, oh, do me a solid, dude, until, you know, somebody owes you $500,000 for product and they ain't paying you. Hey, that's the shit I'm dealing with here. Like, do me a solid. Fuck you. I charge for my time. You know, people don't like that. Oh, you're sending me a bill? You goddamn right. I spent a whole lot of time learning to do this and time in prison, you know, fighting this battle. And I'll do some pro bono work, but goddamn it, I got bills to pay too. And they expect everyone to do me a solid. This is, you know, fuck you. This is a business. This ain't the hog farm.
Damn, the hog farm costs several price.
Well, you know, I get a whole.
I got a lot of friends who are hippies. I'm an old hippie myself. My grandfather taught me to run a business. He had a liquor store. You know, you got a low profit margin. You better be able to pump and dump shit.
You know, anytime someone says, do me a solid, I get a whole different type of vision in my head. But shout out to the C word who says, normalize buying weed a QP at a time.
There you go.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. And Steve Blessingham in the chat, he says, some people want Coors Light, unfortunately, but sell them what they want. Keep the lights on. I feel you, man. Keep the commerce going. Keep the commerce going, you guys. Well, we're gonna roll into our final story of the day today, you guys. And this is a shorty, but we are ending the show on some good news today, you guys, because 4 of 5 congressional staffers say they're optimistic safer banking will pass this year, you guys. That's right, 2025. 4 out of 5 congressional staffers that spoke to the Marijuana Herald this week say they believe the Secure and Fair Enforcement Regulation, better known as the Safer Banking Act, stands a solid chance of being approved this session. That includes one Republican staffer who said, based on current talks, I'm 90% confident it'll pass this year. The The insight comes from talks with 5 staffers, 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats, who are directly involved in discussions surrounding the forthcoming version of the Safer Banking Act, expected to be filed in the coming weeks. While one Democrat expressed doubt that the bill could overcome resistance in the Senate this year, believing a vote could be pushed to 2026, the other said they are at least cautiously optimistic about the bill's chances of becoming law before the end of the year. The Safe and Safer Banking Acts would provide protections for financial institutions that work with licensed marijuana businesses in legal states, addressing one of the industry's biggest challenges. And despite bipartisan support in both chambers and despite being approved by the House on multiple occasions, the bill has repeatedly stalled in past years due to broader political disagreements and shifting priorities. The Senate Banking Committee passed Safer last year, but it failed to receive a vote in the Senate despite then Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's promising on multiple occasions that vote would be held. And if you see in the image, that is me with Senator Bernie Moreno, my buddy from Ohio, and he is now the lead Republican sponsor of the Safer Banking Act in the Senate. So I want to make sure to give a formal congratulations to my friend, Mr. Senator Bernie Moreno, out of the great state of Ohio, and we look forward to getting this thing over the hump. And I'm here to help you guys in any way that I can lend a hand. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Jason found a story he could put a picture with.
Stop it. Stop it. You're such a hater. Such a hater, Jenny Beth. Whatever. You know what I mean?
I would be shocked if this gets done. And if it does get done, the strings are going to be attached to it. And the nonsensical things are going to have to do.
I think this is totally going to get done because it's going to be about removing Operation Choke Point, and we have all the crypto bros are behind it. We have all the OnlyFans models are behind it, and all of the gun manufacturers are behind it.
Well, finally, the
None of them
OnlyFans
has
models
a
are
vote
the
in
ones that
Congress.
behind.
None of them has a vote in Congress.
The gun manufacturers do, and so do the crypto bros. They got money out there on this. That they've been lobbying hard on this, yeah. Yep, they've been lobbying.
Yesterday about the pissing match between the libertarian leading Republicans and the Black Caucus who wants reparations. Is that going away?
I don't think that's going to necessarily go away, but I think, the difference is that we don't have, Cory Booker and Senator Chuck Schumer aren't in the leadership position to determine what goes up for the votes. And so now it switches around to where Republicans are in control. And Trump previously stated, and this is messaging that I helped work with him on, he signaled back when he was 45 to get that bill to his desk so that he could sign it. And so I know that the president will sign this bill, and so therefore it does stand a significant chance of hurdling over through the Senate.
For someone who doesn't have a really stake in cannabis right now, I don't fucking care. I mean, like, honestly, safe banking would be nice if like prices go down, right? Because then the person who produces can now use 280E and they get more money towards them they can use for marketing, whatever. But like, how's that help me in the end?
Oh, well, I can tell you how it helps you in the end, because then the financial markets will open back up so that people can raise capital, so you'll be able to get your store open, Miggy.
Well, no, I'm talking about as a consumer. You know what I mean? Like, I never really had interest. Now I do care. Like, because once the store starts running, we're going to be part of that.
Exactly.
World.
Look, now I got you to care.
But, wow, you didn't. My money did.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's policy, man. It's good policy.
Like, it is good policy. Like, I appreciate like people who are out there doing it. Like, this plant's been treated unfairly. The whole marketing thing, right? And again, rescheduling would help that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It would create the. So
I don't know about all that, but rescheduling ain't going to help anything but big pharma take over the cannabis industry.
Already here, man. Kentucky.
What do you mean? Oh boy.
Well, on that note,
what do you guys say, Dale?
Well, I don't think the average consumer gives two shits about all this stuff. They just want a product that's cheap and available. And that's what they're doing. They're voting, and whether it's in an Arco station or your buddy around the corner who will bring you, a zip or whatever. They're looking for availability at a decent price, and what they're hearing is just more governmental fuck ups. And right now, the average person look at the government going, "You guys couldn't You guys would fuck up a wet dream.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be serious here. You guys can't get shit done anywhere. That's one of the reasons Trump's in the White House, because it's not hard to see. Government just can't govern right now.
Mm-hmm.
And just breaking everything, I don't know, is going to solve all this stuff. And Trump's got an X amount of time to get things done before he's got to face a midterm. And who knows? Politics is out there. We can't fix politics right now without a whole lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
The average consumer is like $280. I don't give a shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can buy, I can buy an infused drink around the corner at the Stop and Rob, or I can get it from my buddy who'll bring it to my house. The price is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their world.
Mm-hmm.
We don't show them the other side of this and get them interested, then, they'll vote with their dollars. And right now, the unregulated market and hemp market's winning hands down.
Yeah, that's right. Direct to consumer is winning. Jenny Beth, you have any final thoughts on this?
Nope.
All right. All I got to say on this is pass safe banking already, or safer banking already, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm totally fine with it. But thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific and high noon on the East Coast. Big shout out to our audience and supporters for tuning in daily and listening to the insanity that is the developing cannabis industry. Huge thank you to Aim High Hemp Distribution Tested and to Catalyst for helping us keep the lights on over here. And thank you to our correspondents for being absolutely amazing. Thank you to Cannabis Sativa L for giving us a reason to do this every day. And thank you to Cloud Media partners, Anthony out there in the metaverse somewhere. And thank you all for tuning in and getting high at 9 with us. We are America's #1 daily cannabis news show. And we're off.